Elliot, and I want to talk to you about energy shortage. Really? Anyway, we'll be talking about how and why we're using too many fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are a valuable resource. It takes about 1 million years for them to form. The issue? We're using them too fast for the Earth to make more. That's the issue.
The fossil fuels contain carbon, which is released into the atmosphere when we burn them. This is bad for the environment because carbon dioxide keeps heat inside the atmosphere and contributes to global warming.
Fossil fuels we use every day are coal, petroleum oil, and natural gas. Coal is mined from underground and is used for electricity. Petroleum is a mixture of decaying plants and animals, found in seas millions of years ago. Petroleum can be turned into gasoline, kerosene, and some plastics. Natural gas is a hydrocarbon made out of methane. Natural gas is used mainly for heating and cooking.
People waste energy because it is available to them in excess now, but if we keep on using it the way we do, it will run out and cause energy problems. It takes millions of years for these fossil fuels to form, but it has only taken 100 years for the human race to deplete our only supply.
This. Firstly, we need to stop overusing things we don't necessarily need. It's the human instinct to hoard for survival. To provide more energy for our future, we need to use our resources wisely and begin turning to alternative sources of energy.
Wind. This is a wind turbine. A wind turbine works by taking in the inflow of wind, and that activates the rotor and blades, which spin to make the main shaft and gearbox, resulting in an electrical output.
Solar. This is a solar panel. The sun's energy goes into the solar panels and it converts it to electrical energy. Then it goes into the charge controller, into the battery system and the inverter, and turns it to AC power.
Hydroelectric. This is the Hoover Dam. The water comes from the lake, goes down the penstock, and to the turbine and the generator. The turbine spins, the generator creates energy for the powerhouse, and the transformer makes electricity out of it. The water goes through the draft tube and out the tail race when it's done being spun.
Geothermal. This is a binary cycle power plant, also used for geothermal heat. The heat comes up of the tube and the water comes up the injection well. They both make steam and condense and spin the turbine, which also spins the generator, making electricity.
Why aren't we using these other more healthy sources of energy? It takes money to make all the products to make the resources.
Geothermal energy requires mining techniques that aren't very safe.
Solar power is produced by solar panels, like this one right here.
Hydroelectric uses dams on rivers and lakes.
Wind energy uses wind and big turbines.
All these types of reusable resources use large amounts of money and use expensive materials. Whee!
Statistics time, if the flow of fossil fuels to the United States were cut off, then the economy would come to a halt. There would be no way to transport the products that factories produce and no way for people to drive to work. We would have no lights because coal is used for electricity. The entire Western world depends on fossil fuels, and if we run them out, we lose a big part of our society.
More statistics. This graph shows that most of the United States power comes from coal. That's almost 45%. Next is natural gas at 24%, and then nuclear at 20%. The most percentage is worse for the environment. Coal pollutes the air when it burns, and nuclear power produces radioactive waste and harms bodies of water and land around the plant.
So, what are your thoughts on fossil fuels? Fossil fuels are good, but it's kind of bad how we can't reuse them. Yeah, and now what are your thoughts on renewable energy, like wind energy and hydroelectrics and things like that? They're good, especially when it's windy outside, except don't fly kites too near to the windmill, or you're going to get stuck in there. But you know, reusable energy is really good because you can reuse it. Thoughts on fossil fuels?
Well, we're running out of fossil fuels and we're losing time, and we need to, figure out other ways to use, energy so that we can preserve the natural bits of earth that we can and, prehistoric things. And, the use of cars with gasoline and all that, it's really bad, and we use too many fossil fuels, and they need to be, diminished in use.
So then, what are your thoughts on, reusable forms of life?
Well, when you talk about reusable energy, that kind of creates a problem because not everyone can afford reusable energy because reusable energy is really expensive and it's time consuming, but I believe that it's much more natural and I like the idea of reusable energy. It's if we can't use reusable energy in a timely manner now, then we can just reduce the amount of fossil fuels. But I really do like the idea of reusable energy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.